The topic is communication, concept of communication, and this is our last topic for the chapter. I am very sure you all must have got the syllabus. Syllabus for your periodic tests, or you can say them unit tests, and these are signs of these tests are the signs of, they are the proof that how much in that particular period of time you were into studies, how you perform. Please take the tests very seriously. Don't don't ever come in the perception that these tests are not important, this is not important, that is not important, only the board exam is important. No one has ever done well in the boards if he or she has not done well in the exams before boards. Be it a very small exam, class test, unit test, oral test, if you are not performing well in these, it is never ever possible that you can do well in the board directly. That I will study only at the time of the boards and I will prove in the board only. Many of the students have made this type of mistakes. So you please don't do it. In business, I have given 2 chapters, and in accounts also, I have given 2 chapters. Retirement, death and dissolution in accounts, and in business, staffing and organizing. These are the chapters. Prepare well. If you need to ask something, you can ask before the tests. All have to appear. Those who are not joining the classes, inform them. They are your friends. They are your classmates. Please inform them. So this was the piece of information I wanted to give you again. Now I start with the chapter, the communication. What is communication? What I am doing with you right now is also a communication. It is a type of formal communication. What I am doing right now with you, or what you are doing right now with me, is a communication. Exchange of ideas, exchange of facts, figures, ideas, opinion, emotion by 2 persons is known as communication, is known as communication. It is the process of passing information. Communication is the process of passing information from one person to another. It is also transfer of information from the sender to the receiver, from the sender to the receiver. And once the information is received by the receiver and he has understood it in the same manner in which the sender has sent it, communication is said to be complete. Communication is said to be complete. It is said to be complete only when the information is received correctly with the same meaning by the receiver as it was sent by the sender. Sender and receiver. These are the 2 important persons in the process of communication. In the process of communication. These are very important persons, right? Now, in the communication process, there are different things, different items you see, different terms. Number 1 is sender. As I told you, sender represents the person or the party who wants to communicate some idea, fact, message, emotion to the other person. Number 2 is message. Very important is message. What is that message? What is that idea? What is that fact, figure, information which is to be transferred to the other person, or which is to be passed to the other person is the second thing, message. Then after the message, there is encoding. Encoding means the sender will uh, convert his message in a particular language, whatever the language may be, right? Any of the languages we speak, write, understand, the message will be encoded in that, converted in that particular language. There will be a medium. There will be a medium. Medium can be oral communication, written communication, right? Different modes of communication are available these days. SMSs, you chat, right? Social media, telephone, like this, online virtual meeting. These are different mediums. Then decoding. The sender has encoded the message in a particular language, like I am encoding my message in what language? English. Now you are decoding that message. Decoding means you are making out the meaning of what I am speaking right now. That is called decoding. Making out or converting the message into the desired particular language and get the meaning out of it. So that is called decoding. Then there is the receiver. You are the receiver, and receiver gets the message. After decoding, he understands it fully and then gives the feedback. Last important step is the feedback. That is why I always ask you to keep your cameras on, so that I can see the expressions of your faces. That is also a way of giving feedback. That is also a way of communication through different gestures. Through different gestures we can communicate. Suppose many of you, sometimes when you meet here and there, you raise your hand like this, sir, or you say, sir, good afternoon. Sometimes you don't raise your hand, or you simply nod your head. You simply nod your head. It is also taken as a sign of greeting. A sign of greeting. That is, without even speaking, you are communicating your emotion. You are communicating your message, and that particular message is received by me. You have decoded good afternoon, sir, or good evening, sir, in your this. Your this means good afternoon. You have decoded, encoded. You have encoded your good afternoon in this. And I have decoded your this into good afternoon. That means the sender, whatever information or message wanted to send to me, has been received by me in the correct way, with the same meaning by which you have transferred it to me. So the message will be complete. Message will be received by me, and it would be considered complete when I give you the feedback immediately. Okay, I also said, yes, I got it. That means the whole process is complete. From the sender, message, encoding, decoding, receiving the message, understanding it, and then giving the feedback. If this whole process has taken place, then it is called communication. And communication is very, very important in the organization. In any organization, unless there is proper communication amongst the employees, amongst the management and employees, superior and subordinate, amongst the colleagues, the organization cannot run smoothly. Organization cannot run smoothly. Proper communication should be there. Therefore, we come to the next one, is importance of communication. There are very simple headings. Many of them are self-explanatory. So I would give it very quickly. It acts as a basis of coordination. Coordination means if you want to have some sort of interaction with other person, you need to break the ice. We call it breaking the ice. Breaking the ice means starting a conversation. When you start conversation, then two people can coordinate well. They understand each other. They understand each other's opinion. They understand each other's ideas, the way of doing things. They understand how the other person thinks, reacts, how what is the way of doing things, and they both can help each other, coordinate each other. So unless you communicate, if you do not talk to a person, how you are going to solve a particular problem, how you are going to come to a conclusion about any sort of situation or any sort of work which is assigned to you, combined also, because you may need his help, he may need your help. So both have to communicate properly. Number two is it helps in the smooth working of the enterprise. Without communication, some of you can't sit quiet for a minute also. How it is possible that without communication you will be able to do things? Not possible. Not possible. So communication and proper communication is very, very important. It acts as the basis of decision making. On the basis of communication, we get feedbacks, we get ideas, we get new creative ways of doing things. Subordinates take initiatives, and those initiatives are those ideas, those feedbacks, those suggestions are used by, are properly, wisely taken up by the management and used for the best interest of the organization. This promotes cooperation, and also it promotes, increases managerial efficiency. It promotes cooperation. You see, when you talk with each other, you know about each other. When you communicate, when you interact with each other, then only you come to know about one another, right? Unless you communicate with one another, there is no possibility of knowing each other. So when you communicate, you know each other. It increases profitability of the firm. It increases the managerial efficiency of the persons. It increases your personal relations. It improves your personal relations. It makes you more and more lively, right? More and more social. It also boosts your moral. It also boosts your moral, and it provides you the motivation to work for the organization. There are two types of communication. There are two types of communication, like there are two types of organization: formal and informal organization. Same way, there are two types of communication: formal and informal communication. Formal communication is through a scalar chain. In chapter 2, you have done it. Scalar chain. There is a hierarchy. There is a order through which information flows, through which there is a proper framework. There is a proper framework where everybody knows their position, where everybody knows who are his subordinates, who are his superiors, from where to take orders, whom to pass those orders, right? Who are my colleagues, parallel, lateral. So information, formal communication में information flows two ways: vertical and horizontal. Vertical, there are two: upward and downward. Vertical, there are two: upward and downward communication. Upward communication is from subordinate to superior in the form of suggestions, in the form of grievances. Grievances means any complaints or any, sometimes employees have to have their say. Sometimes they want to say something, they are not happy about something, so they want to put their self and ask management about some sort of help, or they want some changes in a particular thing. So they have their grievances also. Suggestion boxes are kept, and complaint boxes are also kept there. So whatever subordinates communicate with the superiors is upward communication, and it is vertical. Vertical means like this: top to bottom, bottom to top, vertical communication. Vertical communication is formal communication. Formal means which is official. I am teaching to you. I am teaching, and this is formal. Whatever information, whatever teaching I am giving you is formal right now. It is a formal class. It is a formal class, right? Official it is, on record from the school side. As a teacher, subject teacher, I am teaching you and you all are in the class. Whatever I am telling you right now is formal. There is nothing unofficial. After the class, other than the class, when I say something to you in a casual way, is informal. Those who have gone through formal and informal organization must be getting more of it, must be getting more of it. So proceeding with it, formal communication, two types, upward and downward. Downward will be from superior to subordinate. It will be an order, it will be an instruction, it will be an order, or it will be an instruction to it. Nature is participative and appellative. Which one? Upward communication, participative. Subordinates want to participate in the process of decision making, in the process of anything which is in the favor of organization, in the favor of organization. Whereas informal communication is something which does not have any sort of chain. It can start from anywhere, everywhere to everywhere. Informal communication, everywhere to everywhere. Its branches goes in all directions, all directions. Informal communication, like informal communication develops within the organization, within the formal communication, where everybody participates. Everybody participates. जब आप कहते हैं ना, I heard it from someone, there is no someone. Somebody told me, there is no somebody. Everybody has to do this work. There is no everybody. Everybody's job is nobody's job. That is informal. If I say tomorrow, please, one of you bring this particular book, nobody will bring, because everybody will think somebody will bring. Everybody will think somebody will bring. If I take a proper name, particular name, right, then that particular person's duty or that particular person's or student is then responsible to bring that particular book or thing. Then it becomes more formal, more authoritative, right? Accountable. Otherwise, everybody will try to escape, giving an excuse that I thought Pratham will bring this, so I did not bring. Pratham will say, I thought Rishabh will bring it, so I did not bring. Rishabh will say, I thought Vansas will do this particular work because he is very obedient, so I did not. Vansas will, name somebody. So there will be, because it was informal. In informal communication, responsibility lies in the hands of none. Nobody wants to take responsibility. There is only rumor, right? There is only rumor. Half of the things are not correct. You cannot catch the source. But even then, this informal communication is very, very important because it is very speedy. Speedy, you understand? Its speed is very quick. Formal communication, orders come through a chain. There is a scalar chain. There is a process. There is a method. There is a hierarchy. But in informal communication, there is no hierarchy. Everybody is boss. Everybody is the head. Everybody is as important as any other person. Informal organization is generally verbal. Informal communication, organization, most of the things are verbal, oral. And other than this, in the formal communication, all the orders, all the instructions will be in written. Will be in written. I am just differentiating the two so that you understand it better. Direction of flow is there in the formal communication. Direction of flow is there, either vertical, top to bottom, bottom to top, or horizontal, lateral. One person of the same post with the other person in the other department of the same post, they communicate. The finance manager of production department is conversing with the finance manager of sales department, right, regarding something. That is horizontal or lateral communication. But in the informal communication, there is no flow, there is no order, right? There is no direction of flow. It is from everywhere to everywhere. I am telling this person is telling to this, that is telling to third person is again telling to me. Again, that information flows in all the directions. Even source cannot be sometimes found out. Purpose, you see the purpose of formal communication is official. It is to provide essential information or to carry out an order. But in informal, there is no such what you call, it is not compulsory that all the time the information or the instructions need some they carry some weightage. Sometimes it is just for social needs, to fulfill our social needs of love, care, affection, hatred, enmity. All these things, they work in the informal communication. So please go through again about the formal and informal communication, and if you find any difficulty, just ask me again. Anybody want to ask anything up to this?
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, what would be the mode of conducting test, written or oral?
Both. When I will conduct the test, I will instruct you how you have to sit. The test will be lengthier, means it can be of 1 hour also. The meeting will continue. No sooner the time is over, you will join the meeting again and continue the test. And if you give any excuse, if you give any type of excuse which can be found in this universe, I will debar you from the test. Sir, I was not able to connect again. Sir, my internet problem, my this problem, all the problems, please solve it in advance. पूरी क्लास हो गई है of around 20 minutes. Nobody has gone out any time. You know, everybody's connection is perfectly okay. Everybody is able to hear me. Everybody is able to see me. I can see all of you, each and every moment, everything. Only at the time of test, how is it possible? Only on important times, how is it possible that? So they all are excuses, lame excuses, which will not be accepted by me. You will give test like this, and you will sit like Priya is sitting. Everybody can scroll their screen and see how Priya is sitting. Like this, you will be sitting for the test, keeping your camera away. On a table, you will keep your book and one notebook, so that all the time you are on the screen, and this is recording going on. Afterwards also I can see what you are doing during the exam. It will be more typical than your classroom test. Okay, you will be monitored all the time. In between, when you will give the test, I will take the name and I will ask you the questions, oral questions also. Oral plus written, then you will get the marks. In between, I will take your name and I will ask you the questions. You will answer, others will keep quiet and keep doing their work. When your name will be taken, you will answer the questions. This would be the process. Inform everybody so that all can prepare themselves well. So see the posture of the place of the sitting of Priya, how she has presented herself like proper classroom sitting, and most of the time I see her at that place only. That means she has decided that this is the correct place and suitable, comfortable, and you present yourself in a better way. Not anywhere, everywhere you are sitting, and some of you face I cannot see, because I have told you, whenever you sit, bright lights should be in front of you, not at the back of you. Sunlight, window or tube light, whatever, it should be in front of you. At least half of your body should be seen. Your hands should be seen properly. Okay.
सर सर
Yes.
सर आंसर शीट आपके घर देने जाएंगे या फिर फोटो भेजेंगे?
हाँ जी,
सर आंसर शीट आपके घर देंगे या फिर फोटो भेजेंगे उसकी?
आंसर शीट की आप तुरंत टेस्ट खत्म होते ही. Yesterday also, the previous class also, I have not taken some of the students questions because they were late. They were late, and one or two have also done some sort of cheating, which I will tell at the right time. Some sort of cheating. You cannot make me, okay? You cannot make me. You are not as smart as you think you are. So please don't do these type of things. I don't want to disclose the names, but don't do it. Click the photograph, whatever you have done. I want to see how much you know, what you have done. I don't want to see how much you don't know and you have shown me. With the help of others, some have sent the others paper. 2 students have sent me the answers of others. I will talk to them at the right time. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I will talk to them at the right time, and then they will repent. You cannot befool me. I know each and everybody's handwriting. I know each and everybody's level. Even before I give the question, I know how much you as individual will be able to do it. So don't try to befool yourself. Don't try to cheat yourself. Rather you think you are cheating me, you are cheating yourself. This was our topic today, communication, and I hope you must have got it. There are some barriers of communication. Barriers, you understand? When we don't get the meaning properly, when you don't get the information or message properly. So there are different barriers. I will explain them in the next class now because it is not possible. I am explaining only 2 or 3. Tomorrow also I will take business. Tomorrow also I will take business, and our classes will be all 6 days now onwards, this week onwards. On Saturday also, same time you will have your class. And on Saturday, I will start the new chapter, NPO. Okay, dissolution is over. You keep solving the questions. I am giving you one extra day for online class, online teaching, because it is very important class. You know, you are going to appear for the boards. So this is, though not in the timetable, but I am giving you extra time. Hope you will benefit from it. You can ask your problems that day. You can also share your doubts. You can also share your other things, whatever information you want, and about your work, right? And I will start NPO on Saturday. So about barriers, one barrier I will tell you. It can be, we can start with semantic barriers. Semantic barriers. And in that semantic barriers, semantic का मतलब होता है anything related with linguistic and logics concerned with the meaning of the words and sentences. It is semantic barriers are the barriers related to the language and the meaning of different words and sentences which are interpreted wrongly, About with the language also, there are sometimes many problems. Many of the people, their accent, right, of speaking something is so different that you misunderstand something. Many of the words, some of the words have different meanings. Sometimes you may take my sentence in a different way. Suppose I say, be ready now. तो पता चला कि 2-4 लोग गए और रेडी होके आ गए, कपड़े वपड़े पहन के, अपना चश्मा वश्मा लगा के, हाँ, यस सर, वी आर रेडी. But I meant to say, be ready for the next topic, be ready for the next class, be ready for this particular. I am talking about some subject, I am talking about studies, and the other one is taking it in some other way, because the message was not communicated properly. Yeah, information was incomplete. Sometimes same word has different meaning. Two words sound same. Then also there are some problems which may arise in understanding the meaning. They are called barriers to effective communication. Only 2 topics are left: barriers to effective communication and ways of removing those barriers. Which would be done tomorrow. Tomorrow I will finish this chapter, and I will give some introduction about NPO also tomorrow. Some little introduction about the NPO. And day after tomorrow, on Saturday, I will start that chapter thoroughly. So all are there. I can see one more. Tinani, always you are going offline. Wait when you will be removed. What is the reason you go offline? चाय पीने चले जाते हो क्या बेटा?
कौन सा वाला सर?
ये अमित always he is going offline, out of scene. So take care. Always remain in front of the camera, please. Okay, let me take the picture. Everyone facing the camera. Thank you very much. And take care of yourself. Be ready for the test. In case of any doubt and all, please feel free to ask. Take care of yourself. Stay at home. Enjoy your life. God bless all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.